Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back with another MUFC Rumour Rater where we go through all the latest transfer rumours in the last 7 days and give them a little bit of a rating on reliability, on my gut feeling, on how I feel about these rumours and whether we think they're going to be coming off. And remember, you can get your ratings in those comments below on all of the transfer rumours that we discussed today, which includes Angel Gomes, Odion Ighalo, Moussa Dembele, Carlos Vinicius, Thiago Almada, Bellingham, Grealish and Sancho, who are usual suspects here on MUFC Rumour Rater. We have got all of that to come in today's show, so make sure you're keeping it locked here on AdamMcKola TV, getting your comments in those comments below, subscribing, liking, sharing, and of course you can join the channel now as well. And we're edging ever so closer to the first 50 members on AdamMcKola TV. And thank you to Paul B and Sean Ralph for being the latest members on the channel. Paul B joining today as I film this. If you've joined recently and I haven't yet seen your name or I haven't mentioned it on this video, I will mention it the next time we're on air, and thank you very much for joining us. But for now, let's get stuck into these rumours. Now, first things first is one that's popped up on the channel an awful lot over the last couple of months, because United have been trying to get a deal sorted for Angel Gomes. Now, Angel Gomes, supremely talented young player, English talent, local talent, coming through the ranks at Manchester United. He's one of those that we would have thought got more minutes this season, but he hasn't got more minutes this season, and it was evidently because he had these contract issues going on. Because when you look at Andreas Pereira, Jesse Lingard, he should have been playing. They were out of form. That was his opportunity to get a chance, and he wasn't really given that opportunity in the Man United first team, bar a few appearances here and there. And now his contract expires in about 6-7 weeks time, and with his contract expiring, he could be discussing a move with other clubs, and Chelsea are coming into the mix for Angel Gomes, and this is worrying me a little bit. You know, if we lost Angel Gomes to Barcelona like the rumours were suggesting before, or Juventus like the rumours were suggesting before, it's not as painful. It's not as painful. It's still painful because he's a highly talented lad, and you want to see him come through at the club, and you want to see him being developed here and given an opportunity here. But Chelsea, imagine him going there. Now, at the moment, Chelsea are sniffing around him. They believe they've made an offer to him. They've got a few reservations themselves on how much it may cost, and whether they can give him the game time that he wants. And that's the thing that's slowing down this deal at the moment. It's the game time that is being offered. Nevertheless, Angel Gomes to Chelsea, I have to give it a 5 out of 10, because with 6-7 weeks left on his contract, who knows where this lad's going to be playing his football next season. We really don't know. I hope United getting signed up, but I'm a little bit worried. Now, a man that's seen his rumour rating weaken as the weeks go by is Odion Ighalo. He's back again. We've got updates on him, and Sky Sports are saying Man United face a battle to keep their loan signing. And that's because Shanghai Shenhua are saying, well, if you want to keep him beyond, you know, the deadline on the deal, which is the end of May, and you want to keep him for your season and going ahead, especially with the Chinese league starting soon, then you're going to have to buy him permanently. We're not going to allow for his loan to be extended so that he misses games for us. And that's totally understandable from a Shanghai perspective, because when he joined United, the coronavirus and things like that was having most impact in China, and their league was halted. That was the reason why he came to United. Now we're facing a battle to keep him on loan, and United don't really want to pull the trigger on that permanent deal and pay the 15-20 million pounds that it would take to keep him at the club. Nevertheless, I think there's a little bit of interest there from United, and I'm sure if we can't get, maybe there's an alternative list of strikers that we're looking at and seeing whether we can get them, and if not, we go for Odion Ighalo. But if we're not going to replace him, I would be against us just letting him go, because £20 million, someone that can guarantee you 10 to 15 goals a season, be plan B, be a backup, wants to play for the club, you know, that's not that bad for that kind of money. If we're going to replace him though, then I can totally understand it, that maybe you want to get someone with a few more years in him if you're going to be spending money. And with the way the situation's changing with the coronavirus pandemic and clubs financially weakening, maybe there's going to be some clubs or some strikers that are available on the market that we didn't know or didn't think would be on the market for that cheap. And maybe when Shanghai are saying, well, 20 million, 30 million for him, and United are thinking, well, actually, we can just double that and get a younger striker who we don't have to replace in 2 years, then, you know, financially it makes more sense as well. So I'd rate this one a 6 out of 10. It's gone from being a 9, an 8. Odion Ighalo to Man United permanently, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. And that's disappointing. Now, one of those guys that could be an alternative to Odion Ighalo is Moussa Dembele, Lyon striker now. He played for Fulham before, he played for Celtic, is now at Lyon. Chelsea, I believe, to be in a race for him as well. Chelsea popping up in this an awful lot. But it's believed United are edging the race ahead of Chelsea in the race for him. There's talk of a £60 million transfer fee, although I expect that to drop if he leaves this summer. With Lyon, you know, financially they're going to need a bit of money, so they might be open to selling him a little bit so they can keep other players. But nevertheless, Moussa Dembele, reported £60 million price tag. I'd imagine we could get him for 40, 50 if we wanted to get him. And this one just doesn't go away, does it? It keeps sticking around. Now, I rated this about a 3 or a 4 before, but now I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. He's seemingly keen on a transfer to Manchester United, and it may be that, you know, someone that's younger, costs maybe double what Odion Ighalo would. He gives us a different option in there, and maybe he wouldn't be coming expecting to start every single game. And then, you know, it's a possibility that that could be something United are weighing up. We heard there was a secret striker or a surprise striker signing or something like that before. Maybe it was Moussa Dembele, who knows. But I'll keep an eye on this one and I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for now. Another potential alternative to Ighalo that's been linked with Manchester United, and this one's just popped up. This hasn't been on the rumour rater before, and it's United apparently lining up a £35 million move for Benfica striker Carlos Vinicius, who tops the scoring charts in the Portuguese league with 20 goals in 33 appearances. His league appearances, 14 starts, 8 from the bench, so that's 22, 15 goals and 4 assists. He has a release clause of £87 million, although I doubt Benfica will be able to fetch that kind of fee for him. And like when you see there, he's started 14 games, he's come off the bench 8 times. So you're thinking, hold up, you know, what's going on there? Like, he's top goal scorer and all this, but he doesn't start every game. So I thought that was a little bit weird. But nevertheless, maybe that helps United's case in terms of, all right, he's a backup, he's a striker that is on the bench sometimes. He starts most of the time, but he's on the bench other times. And he's happy with that at Benfica. Surely he'd be happy with that at Manchester United. If there's a move that can be done for £35 million, then maybe. But I'm not too sure. When you look at the people that are reporting it and the kind of press that's reporting it, I don't think there's too much credible sources there at the minute. So I'd give this one a 2 out of 10. A 2 simply because United are going to be on the lookout for a striker, especially if Ighalo doesn't stay. And maybe Carlos Vinicius is that man, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not even 30% sure on that. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. Another player that's been linked with Manchester United is Thiago Almada, a Vélez Sarsfield's playmaker. Been linked to the club, 25 million release clause, and apparently United have initiated contact with him in a bid to beat Arsenal. Now, it's also reported that City were interested in him and Pep wanted to bring him to the club as well. There's way too many names circulating around this guy. United, Arsenal, City. He just doesn't seem to be any consistency in the reports. You look around and some are reporting, City want him, Arsenal want him, United want him to keep Arsenal away, United want him to keep City away, City want him to keep... Like, there's no consistency in the reports at the moment. Maybe it's an agent trying to make his name get out there and get a bit of availability for him. Has anybody seen more of him? What do you think of him? Is he a player that those clubs should be lining up? With a 25 million release clause, it'd be a move that's easy to make happen. But nevertheless, at this moment in time, we'll keep an eye on it. But I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. Now, the final story is a bit of a bumper rumour. It's a madness. Manchester United still intend to sign Jude, Bellingham, Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish. That right there is about 200 million, 180 million pounds worth of transfers if United could pull that off. Are United pressing ahead? This article says United are still keen on making Jadon Sancho their player, making Jack Grealish their player, and hoping Jude Bellingham chooses them over Borussia Dortmund. Now, as a rumour all on its own, you know, it's difficult to rate this one because there's so many ifs and buts in it. I feel confident about Jadon Sancho joining Manchester United. 8 or 9 out of 10, I'm confident with that one. Jude Bellingham, you know, 5, 6 out of 10 because other clubs are going to be interested. I have no doubt United will be happy to pay him, give him the right wages, give him an opportunity at the club to develop himself. But with other clubs interested in it being quite well known that he's been discussing things with other clubs, you can never be sure. And then you got Jack Grealish. Everyone knows I want Jack Grealish at Man United. I'd love him to sign for the club, but I've given that one a 5 or a 6 out of 10 more recently because I feel like Paul Pogba is going to stay, and that may heavily impact things. But United may be thinking, let's take advantage of the market here. Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish. Maybe Jude Bellingham's available for 10 million cheaper than he was. Jadon Sancho, you know, that price has gone down from last summer, people were talking about 130, 150 million, to now this summer everyone's talking about 90 million. So you're looking at prices that are dropping for players. Jack Grealish may drop to around 40, 50 million if they get relegated. So, you know, maybe even less because he wants to move and it's widely known. Villa probably aren't going to step in his way. So you're looking at that, and these are deals that the club are probably thinking, let's take advantage of the market. But I have to give this whole story like a 4 out of 10. I think it's about 30-40% likely we've got all three of those players in our squad next season. Jadon Sancho, I think is a possibility. I think is a big possibility he's a United player. But the rest, I'm not 100% sure on. So you have to keep dropping that down as you add each player into the mix. And I'll give that one a 4 out of 10. But let us know what you lot are thinking about Angel Gomes, Ighalo, Moussa Dembele, Carlos Vinicius, Thiago Almada, Grealish, Bellingham, Sancho. What are your rumour ratings? Get them in the comments below. Get your rumours in for next week's show as well if there's anything you want me to get on. Thanks again to the guys that have joined AdamMcKola TV as well. Thanks to you guys that are subscribing and watching every single day as well. Make sure you're keeping it locked. You're liking, you're commenting, you're sharing, and you're subscribing. Join if you can. But for now, this has been the MUFC Rumour Rater. There's always rumours to talk about, so we'll always be rating them. And we're back here every single Tuesday with the Rumour Rater. We have content every single day on the channel, so if you're not subscribed, then I really don't know what you're doing. Anyway, for now, I've been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out of here.